I'm going to share with you 3 predictions that I have for Google Ads in 2025. Every couple of years, it feels like there are some huge changes in Google Ads, whether that's a new interface, whether that's new campaign types like Performance Max, whether it's how Google changes match types and how they treat audiences. Changes happen every so often. And in my opinion, I think that this year is going to be one of the biggest years that we've seen in the past decade. So in this week's video, I'm going to share with you 3 predictions that I have for Google Ads. And spoiler alert, all the changes that I mentioned lead to Google making more money as a company and you having to get a little bit more strategic if you want to see the same or better results in Google Ads this year. My name's Scott Redgate. I'm an online marketing coach. I've managed tens of millions of dollars in Google Ads. And if you want to save some money inside of your Google Ads account, make sure to grab my free PPC cost cutting cheat sheet. You can get it at scottredgate.com/cheat sheet, and I'll leave a link in the description below. All right, so the first prediction that I have for Google Ads in 2025 is that Google is finally going to break the barrier and start showing search ad results throughout the entire search results page. Now, this is an experiment that several people have spotted over the past couple of years, and there's even been search marketing websites that have written articles about this test that people have spotted. And so if you rewind the clock back maybe a decade or so ago, you'll remember that a standard Google search results page looked like a couple of ads at the top, and then you had 10 organic listings, and then you could simply click the next page and see the same thing over again, but just with different ads and different organic results. But the search page has gotten so much more dynamic. I mean, if you do a search for almost any e-commerce term, or if you're trying to buy a product online, the current search results page looks more like an Amazon category page than anything we've ever seen from Google. And so it's not uncommon to see search ads and shopping listings and organic shopping listings and product images, and the page is just so noisy. And so historically, most of the clicks go to the results at the top of the search page. But since Google is making this page a lot more interactive and a lot more visually appealing or unappealing in some opinions, there's a lot of opportunity for Google below the fold of the page or below the area of the page that you can actually see. And there's always going to be a percentage of people that just don't trust ads, and so they're wired to think that the ads are at the top of the page, and so they're just going to scroll down to what they think is the organic results. But if you think about it, it's a lot harder now to spot a paid listing versus an organic listing than it was over a decade ago. If you remember back, the ads used to be in a yellow box and they were clearly differentiated from the organic results. Well, now the blending of the two is extremely hard to spot, even for a trained eye like mine. And so that's why if Google can start to mix the paid results consistently in the organic results, that is going to lead to potentially a lot more clicks on the paid listings. And why? Because again, there's a lot of people that just don't trust ads. And if they think that the ads are at the top of the page, they're going to scroll down. And if Google is mixing ads within the organic results in the middle of the page, they're going to get some of the clicks from those people who previously would just skip past them. And so I think that if Google actually pulls the trigger on this, this is going to be a huge change. It's going to lead to so many changes to some of the metrics that you follow inside of Google Ads, whether that's ad impression share, ad click-through rate, and so much more. And so to summarize this point, if Google shows ads in the middle of the search results page, that's going to lead to more clicks to ads and potentially lead to more revenue that Google could see as a company. All right, so let's hop to my prediction number 2. And my prediction number 2 is that Google is going to move in the direction of eliminating keyword match types, and they're going to start by eliminating phrase match keywords. So we've done a whole video on this channel. It's one of the more popular videos that I have on this channel about the 3 match types. You have broad, phrase match, and exact match. A few years ago, you had another match type which was called modified broad match, but Google did sunset that. Well, Google has changed the definitions of these 3 match types. And so the easiest way to differentiate between the 3 match types is exact match is the most strict match type to match your keyword to what people are actually searching. Phrase match is a moderate match, and then broad match, potentially anything could go. It wasn't so long ago that in the accounts that I would work in, you would get the best results if you exclusively used exact match with a hint of phrase. I wouldn't even touch broad match because the results that Google could potentially show your ads for were just so random and you would waste so much money in the process. Google has gotten better with broad match in matching search terms that people are typing in with your actual keywords. And if you layer that with automated bidding, whether that's target ROAS or target CPA, Google is actually quite good at it. But the fact remains, if Google has these 3 keyword match types out there, but if there are still accounts that are exclusively using things like exact match, that limits Google's ability to maximize the revenue from that particular advertiser. And so in the best case scenario for Google, that advertiser would switch to broad match, which would allow for Google to show that advertiser's ads for a lot more searches. By that advertiser doing that, if Google can get better results and get more conversions for that advertiser, even a more efficient return on advertising spend, that could be a mutually beneficial decision. But we're still in this weird middle period where Google has these 3 match types available, but the definitions of them aren't as clear as they were in the past. And so you've got advertisers that don't know any better, and then also advertisers that have been around for a long time and are scared to open it up to a match type like broad. And so I think that this is the year that Google is going to move in the direction of having a single keyword match type. I think that in the next few years, Google will only have one match type, and that will be broad. But in order for them to move in that direction, they're going to have to eliminate phrase match. So that would leave 2 keyword match types. You could potentially have exact match and broad match. I mean, if you think about some of the changes that have happened in the past couple of years, you'll receive a lot of messages and optimization notifications inside of your account. If you are using exact match and phrase match, Google will recommend that you use broad. But Google has even gone as far as limiting some of your abilities or your features in Google Ads if you don't select the broad match campaign setting. So they're not hiding it. They want you to use broad match, and I think that this is the year that they will actually start moving in that direction by eliminating phrase match. Okay, and so my third and final prediction for Google Ads this next year is that Google will formalize advertisements inside the AI overviews. Now, if you don't know what an AI overview is, just go do some informational searches out there, ask some questions to Google, and you'll be greeted with a box that essentially answers your information based on what Google has learned in their AI by crawling the entire internet. And so earlier this year, there were some stats that showed that Google was showing AI overviews at a rate of 7% to 15%, meaning that with 7 to 15% of the searches that happen out there, Google was placing an AI overview. Now, anecdotally, when I search, I would say that it's closer to 1/3, maybe even as high as 50% of the searches that I do receive a AI overview from Google. Now, here's the problem with the AI overview. I've done a whole video on this, but Google is in a pickle unless they find a way to monetize the AI overview. Because Google makes a tremendous amount of money from the advertisements that they show in the search results. I'm sure you're aware of that. But Google also makes money by advertisements that are placed on other websites called the Google Display Network. And so if Google is answering a ton of questions just right there in the AI overview and users aren't clicking through to the website, that could potentially reduce Google's revenue opportunities unless they find a way to monetize that AI overview. And my prediction for this year, I think Google is going to do just that. I think that they are going to fully monetize the AI overview box. I know that there's been some betas and some testing around this, but I think that Google is going to integrate AI overviews as one of the placements inside of Performance Max campaigns. And so if you have a Performance Max campaign enabled, your advertisements could potentially show up inside that AI overview box. Now, I don't know exactly how they're going to do this, whether they're just going to highlight words inside the AI overview box, or if they're going to have sources or citations if you are running Performance Max. I don't know, but I know that Google is going to drive ad clicks from the AI overview box to advertisers' landing pages because it is so important that they find a way to monetize that so that they can make up some of the losses to the clicks that were happening on the Google Display Network. I mean, if you actually peel back Google's quarterly financial statements, you'll see that 57% of the revenue that Google makes is from their search and other network. And so we are talking billions of dollars here. It is so important that Google can find a way to monetize that AI overview box because they have an obligation to their shareholders to try to increase their revenue year over year. And this is just an opportunity that they can't waste. Okay, so those were my 3 predictions. In summary, my 3 predictions are that Google is going to start showing advertisements throughout the entire search results page. Next up, I think that they are going to simplify the match type options in Google Ads. I think we are moving in the direction that broad match will be the only one that they have. And to get to that point, I think that this next year they're going to eliminate phrase match. And then last but not least, I think that Google is going to integrate ads into the AI overview box, and the campaign type that is going to allow Google to show ads is going to be Performance Max. So if you're running a Performance Max campaign, you could potentially be showing advertisements in AI overview boxes as people are searching Google. Hey, if you're looking for help this next year in running and managing your Google Ads campaigns, make sure to subscribe to this channel. I create weekly videos to help you make more and spend less in your digital marketing and give you the confidence that you can manage your own online marketing campaigns without hiring an agency. Again, my name's Scott Redgate. Thank you so much.